What is going on, everyone? Israel back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the New York Mets and what the future kind of holds for the squad going into 2024. So obviously the New York Mets finished in 4th place last year at 75-87 on the year, which wasn't horrible for them. I actually thought they did a little bit better, but obviously from that 2022 year where they won 101 games and made the postseason, definitely is a downgrade. But we do know they did trade a lot of their pieces during that trade deadline, but they did get a lot of good prospects back. So this team should be very exciting in 2024 or in 2025. They should have a really good shot trying to make a playoff push. Do I think it's going to happen this year? Probably not, unless they call a lot of these guys up and they're just really good. But they definitely have a solid shot to go, I think, a little bit above 500 this season, in my opinion. Especially with some of the moves they've already made. Especially signing like Luis Severino from the Yankees. I mean, that was a great pickup, I think, in my opinion. It's going to be really exciting to see how he's going to do in New York. He is only on a 1-year deal, though, so we're going to see how he does. So if he does do good, maybe they could trade him. Maybe they'll keep him. Maybe they'll extend him. We'll see what happens with him. Right now, the Mets are looking pretty solid. It's just the money situation is definitely tight with this squad. They're definitely going to be over that luxury tax again this season. Because if we take a look at their financial situation right now, they have $222.5 million already spent on this squad. And if you count in all the arbitration and everything like that, it's going to be $266. So going to be kind of crazy when you think about it. You got to remember they have to pay for the Justin Verlander trade, the Max Scherzer trade, the James McKinnon trade, and the 2 buyouts they have, which is about $750K. So a lot of money is just spent on guys that are not even playing on the team, which they've done in the past. We obviously know this, but yeah, that's not really optimal. It's about $50 million that are pretty much spent on guys that aren't even playing for them. So yeah, that's just really not it. Going into next year, looking at this team, I could see them getting 3rd again. I think the Nationals will probably last. The Marlins took a major back step this year, so I think they would be 4th. And I think the Mets will probably be 3rd in that order. So I could definitely see them getting 3rd, a little bit over 500 this season. I just think after last year, I know this team wants to win. Obviously, Stephen Cohen wants this team to win as well. He's doing everything he possibly can for the squad. They're definitely going to look solid. I think the guys they have should be pretty good, in my opinion, to actually be able to win. And that's just talking about the players that are on the team. We still have a ton of prospects that are going to come up and are going to be super good next year. And we have Acuna's brother who's going to be really interesting to see in spring training this season. Or I mean, we're going to see how he does. He's a very exciting talent. Obviously, Mauricio was very fun to watch at the end of last year. He was a pretty solid player for the Mets. So interesting to see how well he's going to do in New York. And as we scroll down, we still have a lot of prospects on here expected to come up this year. A lot of them are in that AA region. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see where we're at. Obviously, a guy like Drew Gilbert, who's Houston's #1 pick in 2022 on the squad now, in that AA system. So very interesting to see where he's going to end up landing. There's a lot of guys that I'm excited to come up this year, and I think the Mets are going to be looking really solid in 2025. It's just interesting to see where they're going to end up this year. I personally have them a little bit over 500 because I think these guys could come up at the All-Star game, these AA guys, 100%, and really try to make this team win. And even looking at this squad now, you're obviously going to have Edwin Diaz back. He's going to be back in action, which will be pretty exciting. Obviously got hurt in the World Baseball Classic celebrating, which was not ideal for this team. I mean, they still have Pete Alonso at first. They still have some of their core players here. They still have guys like Starling Marte is still here. Brandon Nimmo is still here. Jeff McNeil is still here. Obviously, Lindor is still here. And you have some of their rookies like Mauricio and Beatty on the squad. So very interesting to see where the Mets land this year. Obviously, the Mets are like a wild card team. They could be very up or very down this season. It just all depends where they're going to come from. From me personally, I probably am a little bit outside a playoff spot. I think they could definitely be a good solid squad, but I just don't see them, really getting in a playoff spot with just all the other good teams. They definitely could. Obviously the trade deadline will be a huge moment for them. We're going to see what they do in that time, but it really depends on what's going to happen with these squad, because if they're at least 500 by the trade deadline, they might just go for it. So that's definitely an option I can see the Mets doing around that time. It's going to be really interesting though to see how this team's going to perform. And like I said, even if they don't have the best 2024, their 2025 should be a good year. They should make the postseason that year, because Stephen Cohen once again said 2025, 2026 is his target to get back to the postseason. So they could be a little bit of head schedule and try to have a good season, and 2025 be back in that postseason category. So I think the Mets are looking really solid right now, in my personal opinion. I don't know if they're going to pick up anyone else during this offseason. I think they definitely could. I just don't know what guys they would pick up, to be honest. It would definitely improve their team for sure. It's going to be interesting looking down the stretch to see how the Mets are going to do in the future. Yeah, where do you guys have the Mets this season? Because, I already gave my thoughts to them. I got that 3rd place position, a little bit above 500, maybe in a postseason spot. It's kind of my prediction for the squad. I think that could realistically be happening because the teams in their division, the teams under them are really not good. The Marlins took a major step back. The Nationals won't be good. And then obviously the Braves and Phillies will be postseason teams. So it'll be interesting on where this team's going to land. And obviously compared to the NL, it's going to be interesting as well because the race last year was pretty crazy. I'm expecting the same kind of thing again this year. Maybe the Mets can be in that conversation a little bit. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Where do you guys see the Mets going in 2024? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.